Athena Pathway over the last 2.5 years has been massive. From launching back in mid-2022 to competing in the first ever Women's America's Cup and the Youth America's Cup again for a British team. Yeah, it's been amazing. I think when you start a project like Athena Pathway or something where you've got an end goal, it's maybe a few years down the line, you have an idea of what it might be, but it's always way more encompassing than you could possibly imagine. When you pour your heart and soul into trying to make something as good as it can be, then yeah, it takes a lot, but it's generally very much worth it. Oh, there's been so many highlights over our time in Barcelona for the training for the Youth and Women's America's Cup. I think probably that first sail in the AC40 as the Athena Pathway team. I remember feeling very nervous, very emotional when we came back in and everything was okay. But yeah, that was a huge highlight for me. And then obviously the racing at the end, watching the youth team race, just so proud of those guys and that team. And then competing myself in the women's team for that first ever women's event was really, really special. The lowlights, I think, definitely during the racing for the Women's Cup when our boat Sienna had some technical issues and broke, and we had to change boats to use the pool spare boat. Yeah, that was pretty challenging. We definitely wanted to win both the women's and youth events, and we set up a programme really built around trying to do that. But I think, you know, with a third place in the Youth America's Cup and second place making the final in the Women's America's Cup, I look back and I'm really just so proud of everyone that was a part of that programme and the support we got from so many different people to allow us to get there. Athena Pathway has had the best supporters and partners over the last couple of years to get to where we've got to, and many of them are carrying on with us into the next America's Cup, which is awesome. You know, people like Cobham Ultra, Cecil Wright, Rolex, so many different partners that have facilitated the programme both in Barcelona to compete out there, but also in the UK to provide a pathway and opportunity for the next generation. You can't do any of these things without really special partners to make it happen. So moving forward, I'm so excited about Athena Pathway in the next 3 years towards the next Women's and Youth America's Cup. We've got big plans with the AC40s, big plans with the UK side of the Pathway programme as well to kind of grow that and trying to expand it to make it a more connected pathway, so the clarity's there for people to see that route through to the Youth and Women's Cup, the America's Cup, LGP, all those types of events, and hopefully to collaborate more with the wider UK sailing community as well. So yeah, lots of big plans. To see the different numbers of female athletes come through the programme, youth athletes, onshore and on the water, yeah, it's been phenomenal, and I'm really excited about what's next.